day 2, we're on to gluing in these. So I've labelled them up. I've got the hockey pucks. It's just a matter of, I've got to do some DIY over there, which I'll show you. So the DIY I've got to do is, this here is the rubber mats, which are cutted out. Obviously, they're not the best because it's hard to cut out. And yeah, it was my first time doing it, but hey-ho, live and learn. So obviously I've sprayed the wood black, got the hockey pucks, they're black, and then I've kept the mat in. So what my idea is, where's a hockey puck? I need one. Oh, it's here. So I've got some strong magnets from Unilite. What I'm thinking is, my initial idea was to grind that thread off, so it's just a flat little hockey puck magnet, put that on the inside like that, and then when that's, say, like that, and then get the other magnet, it should work one-handed. Do that, and then I can pull it out, but I just need to grind off all these edges as such, and then that'll work mint. And then it should work through the fabric as well. To be fair, I'll just put that bit of fabric on here and give that a go, but it's hard trying to do all that and record. So just to prove how strong these magnets are, I've got one on the back side and one on the front side. I've got the material which is going to be covering up on the hockey puck, as you can see, the hex pattern. And then, believe it or not, I haven't, obviously magnets, you've got north and south, so these technically aren't even attracting to each other the right way. So if I show you now, let me pull this one off. Oh, it's alive. So if you try and put them on like that, obviously that's the same way facing each other. I don't know if you can see that. So obviously it's forcing this one away. But if you just put it next to it, it still grabs through the side of it. I've just set up a new grinder blade from Tool Plus. Local guy to me set this up and he's been selling these, doing pretty well. So if you want a grinder blade, he does the ones for the bigger grinders, smaller grinders, all the different grinder blades. Then check out Tool Plus and you can get yourself a grinder blade. So I made a little jig just so I don't actually cut myself, because I put the grinder blade in, but then obviously the grinder blade and the grinder is magnetic and I'm trying to cut magnets, so not fun. So I came up with this invention, screwed this down onto this random bit of box we had, screwed this metal ruler down, and then you can stick that onto there, and then that won't try and go onto your grinder blade when you're cutting it, and then I can shave that off. As you can see, it tries to magnet to it, but if I got the grinder like that, then it's not going to get me. And I've had my foot on the ruler there, so it can't rotate round. Yes, it's not probably the best, but yeah, you can see how strong these are. And I've just made the mistake of trying it out, make sure it worked like that. And now it's all stuck together, so I need to try and pull that apart. Well, that blade absolutely monstered those magnets. That one's done, that one's done. The one below that's done, and the top one I managed to do while it's stuck. I physically cannot pull these apart, so it's definitely going to be a bit overkill for this, but I've literally tried everything, and that's the most I can get it apart. So yeah, I'm going to put something on Instagram in a minute asking if anyone knows how to get magnets apart. Then I think maybe you put it in water. I'm going to go and get a bucket of water. I don't know why, but I've got a weird suspicion that water will help. So anyway, on to the next step. Let's take that out, get that hockey puck out, get this glued on to the underside of the hockey puck, and then we'll try and glue this onto there and align it all up, which is not going to be fun. It doesn't look the best at the minute, but that's once it's all glued and then I put something heavy on it to hold the weight down, it should start to take shape. And look, the downside as well, these are still like brand new, because when I cut them out, this was brand new, whereas this has had wear and tear, so it's a bit of colour difference. So once I give it all a wipe and everything, it'll all look the same. So they're still stuck together. I've tried everything, still don't work. So I'm definitely going to go for that option of sticking it the back side like that, and then obviously when you come to get it out, you'll use the actual side of the magnet to pull it out. So what we're going to do is we've got some CT1 super fast, just going to run a bead around that on the edges, got some activator just to make it crystallise a bit, get it sticking a bit stronger. I'm just going to put loads of silicone around it and loads of super glue, and fingers crossed that works. Bit of a bodge, but it's my van. That's that glued. I've just absolutely gone mad with the glue and the activator just to make literally a massive fat bead all the way around it, and that is not going anywhere. I've just had a moment of panic and realised, no, that's fine, it's within the thing. So that's going to sit down there, but then I've just realised that's metal, so that technically might magnet to that, so then I might end up taking them apart, because fingers crossed, that might magnet to that, and then that will pull off the plastic. But I don't know, this stuff is pretty strong, so we'll test it and see, we'll find out. I'll be the guinea pig for all of you lot. So let's set you on the side and let's push that into there. Oh God, I can already feel it sticking. So that's now into situ. Now let's grab a magnet. Oh God, I'm gonna lose another magnet doing this. Right, so that's that. Oh yeah, it does work. So you just got to give it a bit of a wiggle to get it out, and that's it. Let's try that again. I think it's not as easy as I thought, because obviously the bit's below metal, so that's resisting. Stick that on, give it a bit of a wiggle, lift it out. Yeah, so that's working really good. And that's that one done. Just ignore the screen wash. I'm just using that to weigh it down when I stuck on the fabric. So what I was saying, I was just been on the phone to Nick and showed him, because obviously Nick came up with this idea, and I've just showed him the final product. So it's all working. The only downside is I need to get an actual magnet with like a bit of a hook, so I can like grab it like that, give it a wiggle and pull out. So I'm struggling a bit in the minute to get it out, but as you can see, that's going to stick straight onto there. You give it a bit of a wiggle. So, oh, I need both hands to do this. Let me set you up on the side. So let's give it a go now. So you give it a bit of a wiggle, like so. It's like that, and then get your fingers underneath it, give it a pull, and then that's out. And then obviously you can just retrieve your magnet by sliding it off, and then line it up again. So line that up, make sure that's the correct one, give that a push, and then we're in. Job's good. And the quite good thing about that metal thing underneath with the magnet, it's holding it in situ, so it's not rattling round. And then obviously, if you want to get it out, just give it a little bit of a wiggle, like so, give it a pull, and we're out. On to the second one now. So I've lined that up, going to put the magnet in the middle, run a bead of super glue around the edge, like I did in the other one, get that all set, and then on this one, I'll show you the process of sticking that onto there. Stuck the magnet down and put the hockey puck in place. Now I need to align this matting where I cut it out with where the hexagons line up, so I think that's about right. Run my finger around, make sure that's going to be the correct pattern. So it's fairly seamless, as you can see. From a distance, it don't look too bad, but obviously right up close, you can see the cut around the edge. That one and that one are pretty good cuts. And then when we come over to this one, let's just say someone might have slipped with a knife. I don't know who that was. I'm definitely going to blame my dad. But yeah, we'll super glue that back together. Don't worry about that one. So now I'm happy with the way that's going to line up all the way across. I need to get that out and put loads of super glue on the back of this fabric, and then also onto the hockey puck to get it all to line up. But this is not going to be fun getting this out of here, because this one's actually cut pretty well, to be fair. So let's line that up and get that out. Right, make sure that's in. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the super glue onto the fabric first, allowing it to soak a little bit. Right, so I'm going to squirt a load of this super glue all over this. Now that's ready to go, I'm just going to flip this back over, and it was that way there, I think. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. So I'm going to go for it. I'm going to stick that on there, squidge that in, and then press all the way around. And then super glue doesn't take long to dry, so just press and hold it firmly. Right, I'm pretty happy with that. Moment of truth. Let's see if it will. Oh, it sticks. A bit of a wiggle. Oh, there we go. So that's coming out now. So after a lot of time faffing, that one's done. I will admit these two don't look the prettiest, but they were my first two initial cuts, and yeah, I've ended up gluing all the bits around the edges, then spraying it black. So overall, it doesn't look too bad. It's just if anything, it's just better than the black hockey puck on show. So it blends in a bit, but I'm really happy with that one and that one over there. Overall, this video has been me installing the staff mounts and then messing around with the hockey pucks and the rubber matting, gluing that down. It's not been fun. The staff mounts was fairly easy. Obviously, just the first one, take your time with it, get it right, and then you're away, or do the masking tape trick, which I've now found out, typical. But the hockey puck idea, I won't be doing this again. It's not fun, but I've got some even worse in the pipeline, which is fabricing the whole van. So look forward to that video.